I've been craving more freedom in my schedule, in my life. I know these things are possible for me. I see other people doing it. It's not rocket science. If they can do it, I sure as hell can do it. And
That's
I
right.
just, in that, it was kind of like this lightning bolt moment of clarity.
When adversity came, I could have fell apart, but I chose instead to follow my heart. When adversity comes, I will never run. I will adjust, adapt, and overcome. Vision.
Woo! Welcome back to your one-stop shop for everything empowerment. I am your host, Tariq Williams. Not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope. And welcome to another episode of the Speak Your Vision podcast. And today, once again, we have an awesome episode for you all today. I love bringing on some great guests, and this one is nothing short of amazing. And so I have to say, her vibe, the way she shows up consistently, I'm all about it. And so I want to introduce you all today to online business manager and coach, Alex Porterfield.
Hello, Tariq. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, I have been thinking about this all day. I'm super excited to have you. And let's get started. But before we go, introduce yourself to the people. What
Yes.
exactly is that you do and everything like that?
Absolutely. It is so nice to be connecting with everyone in your audience and community. What started as a side hustle as a virtual assistant has turned into just the most exciting online business career. I'm currently an online business manager for multi-six-figure influencers and women entrepreneurs. And I am now a coach for women wanting to become a virtual assistant or online business manager for influencers, content creators, creative entrepreneurs, you name it. And it is my biggest joy.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Because, I love that. We need more joy in the world. We got to do more things that we like and that we enjoy, right?
Yeah. What's the point?
What's the point? That's truly what life is all about. Finding our way, finding ourselves to make the most out of our lives and enjoy it and have fun, right? And you're giving that to the people, and I really think it's so amazing what you do. As I begin to transition into what the Speak Your Vision podcast is all about, language is super important here. I tell everyone this. Language is super important. And so if you could describe your journey as a business owner in one word, what would it be?
I love that. I love that. And I could not agree more. I have so much to say about this as well. But if I had to encapsulate my business journey in one word, it would probably be action. I take action. I don't sit with things for long. I don't think about things too much. I truly feel that I have been able to accomplish as much as I have in these last, 2.5 years of being a business owner. I think that is just from taking action. I refuse to just sit on the sidelines and let my brain spiral. I'm like, okay, let's try it. Let's see if this works. Let's see what happens. If it's not going great, I can pivot. I think a lot of us kind of get stuck in our heads a lot with things. And this is something I always have to navigate with my students and help them with through my programs. But the language thing, that's so true. And this is something I also talk with my students about. It's you have to be self-aware of the language you're using in your head and also out loud when you are speaking about yourself, your business, your desires, right? Limiting beliefs. You got to catch those when they come up.
That's it.
And you gotta redirect it as quickly as you can.
Oh gosh, you're preaching to the choir right now,
Yes.
Alex. You are preaching to the choir. Because you got to take action. If you want action, you got to take action. All these different things in our lives are just opportunities to get to wherever it is we want to be. I'm gonna slightly pivot a little bit.
I love
Okay,
it. Let's do it.
I'm gonna slightly pivot a little bit. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. And I am going to, I want your authentic gut reaction to this.
Okay.
All right. I want your authentic gut reaction to this. And Bear with us. It might take a little bit for it to pop up,
Okay.
but I want your authentic reaction, and then I want you to reflect on what you were feeling
Okay.
when you watch this.
Okay. Do you want me to like talk it immediately or just look at it?
A little bit of both. We'll see how
Okay.
it goes.
All right. I'm excited. On September 17th, 2020, this is before I took my very first virtual assistant training course. I wrote, if I could have anything, be anything, or go anywhere, I would build my brand and online business. Yep. I would work remotely while traveling the world and spending time with my family. I would have the freedom to make my own schedule, hit my own goals, build my own empire. And then on January 16th, 2021, before I was even laid off, I wrote in my manifestation list for the new year, I wrote, I am so excited that I have created a successful online business that allows me freedom to work from anywhere while helping women grow their empires. So this is my reminder to you to write it down, to listen to that inner voice, your intuition, to what it is telling you, and do it scared. Do it messy. Do it when you're not ready, because everything you want and everything you dream of is waiting for you to make the choice. Let me say that again. Everything you want and dream of is waiting for you. You just have to make the choice. You got this. Oh my God. That is so, oh my God, that is not what I was expecting, but I love that so much. And it like makes me just feel all warm and fuzzy inside, because I truly wrote those things down in my journal before I even decided to take this leap and start my own business, when it was just a side hustle back then. Like, but it's, you know, it's great to write these things down. And I'm a huge proponent for writing them down, because it is fun to go back and reflect and see all that I've accomplished. And to kind of put those seeds out right into the universe. But you can't just journal and wait for these things to happen. You have to actually take those baby steps each day and take action. Like that is what is going to tell the universe that, okay, yes, this is what I'm ready for. I'm actively taking these steps, and the universe can redirect you in whatever way it needs to. Right.
Absolutely.
But wow. Yeah. I really like wrote those down, and it's so amazing to look back on, which that's why I love journaling, because I love looking back and seeing, oh, okay, check that off. Yep. Did that. Wow. I actually surpassed that goal that I wrote down. You know, it kind of allows you to just dream of what's possible for you, because everything's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost, you know, I'm not much of a journaler, but it's like you're holding yourself accountable, right? There are things that I'll write down for different things, to-do list or different goals that I have, but it's holding myself accountable. It's holding yourself accountable. And I'm going to run with one of the metaphors that you said, like when you talk about like throwing a bunch of seeds, right? You know, I want to go back to that word action that you mentioned, because you could have all the seeds in the world, but if you don't start watering your seeds at some point, ain't nothing going to grow. I'm sorry. It's not going to grow. And so when you talk about that action piece, you explained, you know, what that looked like very concretely for you. But when you reflect on that video and you reflect on who you are, what you've been going through, and the one word that you used, I want you to define action for us. Just ultimately, like when you think of the word action, how does that make you feel?
I mean, my gut right now is, you know, action to me is trusting myself that I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds very woo-woo and spiritual, but it really, for me, it comes back to that self-trust and vision that I have for myself. Because I'm not one to sit back and wait. I am very impatient. It's something I'm working on, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just, you know, I'm going to take those small steps every day, because I do trust myself to take them, and I trust myself to make it happen.
Yeah.
The hit, right? If I look back and I take, you know, I look at all the data from my life, anything I really, really, really wanted and really focused on, I've made happen.
Mm.
And it's the things that I didn't really want, or the things I half-assed, the things I didn't really, stay disciplined with, that didn't turn into much, or I didn't get that thing or that promotion or that job. You know what I mean? It's the things that I've been so laser focused on and knowing nothing's going to deter me from this goal that I have.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I've absolutely accomplished. And I knew I would.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And it's hard for me not to reflect on my journey hearing about yours. Um, so when I started losing my vision at 16, I was very much so in a place of I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Mm,
Mentally, I had never met any other blind people
mm.
before. Mentally, I was like, all right, success doesn't exist.
You were like, I'm done. It's
I'm
over.
done. It's,
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Take them off.
but gosh, when the school year started coming back around after the summer and
Mm,
I got my diagnosis and everything like that, basketball tryouts and basketball was getting ready to start back up and everything like that. And I was like, I couldn't envision my life without playing sports like the way that I did, or just at least being around it, right?
yeah.
So I don't know what this looks like at the moment, but I'm gonna take action.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a part of it. I'm gonna do the best I can, and I at least I could, you know, I could leave it there,
Yep.
leave it there, And so hearing that, and I think the importance of taking action is so important. It's so real, and I don't think people recognize the power that they have to create some big action, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah. I think I forget who I was listening to, but he was saying the most successful people just take massive action
Hmm.
and they just keep going. Like they don't stop, they don't slow down, they pivot. I'm big on pivot.
Right.
Launch and adjust, right? I tell my students, no, you're not going to know everything right now, and you're not going to have all the pieces in place, and you're not going to feel ready, but you're going to take the steps, and they're
Yeah.
going to be baby steps. And then you're going to break into a jog, and then you're going to find your stride, and it's just going to flow. But you don't start sprinting until you start walking. You know what I mean? So you just have to start.
When I think a lot of my background when I was in middle school and high school, and ever since I was basically zero, was around sports.
Mm,
And it's unfortunate, but it's real. Probably learned the most from, the losses for sure.
yeah.
But then it takes a moment for you to realize that they weren't really losses, you know, it was things
Lesson.
that lessons. I had to learn them along the way.
Yep.
I had to learn them along the way. So we set the tone very well here. I'm loving it.
I
Da
love
da da
it.
da da. I'm loving it. And so let's move into your business a bit more.
Perfect.
Did you ever think, because you had some really neat jobs where you were the manager of the tattoo shop and you did all these really neat things. Um, did you ever realize or recognize that you were going to be a business owner yourself?
Never. Yeah,
Mm,
never. It's so funny. I remember working at the talent agency. This is before I managed the celebrity tattoo shop, but
yeah,
I remember so clearly. I was at my desk one day and, I worked with a lot of actors, creatives, their schedules, their bookings, everything. And I remember joking to myself, I was like, "Ah, no, I would not be a good CEO, but like, I'm really good at telling CEOs what to do. Like, that's my jam." And that's literally what I do now as an online business manager is I tell CEOs, right? I tell my clients what to do. I
yeah,
manage their business. And in doing that, I'm also now a business owner through my own business and services and programs, but I am a CEO now. I run my own business and I help other business owners grow and scale their companies. So no, I never thought, I think maybe like in my head, I was like, LOL, like I could totally see that for myself. Like that's definitely my vibe.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it's definitely like a vibe I give off, I think. But now that I'm actually in it, I'm like, I can't imagine doing anything else. have never felt so aligned in the work that I do and the
Mm.
women that I work with.
Wow. Wow. And so did you believe that you were going to get that alignment when you decided to become a business owner? Because correct me if I'm wrong, this didn't really become a thing for you until the pandemic, right?
Yeah. So I was a virtual assistant for one client, and I would work for her before I would go in to work full time. Um, and it was just a nice little extra, side income gig. I bringing in, an extra $300 to $500 a month for
Mhm.
easy virtual tasks. Like, yeah, sign me up. Um, but yeah, when I was blindsided by a layoff in 2021, I was like, I have a choice to make. Like, I can either go on Indeed and LinkedIn and start looking for these, full-time jobs that are going to give me that security and um that, steady the steady paychecks, which yeah, I do miss those sometimes, but it I was crying in the backseat of my Uber on my way home from getting laid off. And I knew, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go work for someone else. I'm not taking the safe route. Like, I have been so unhappy working for other people. I've been I've been craving more freedom in my schedule, in my life. I know these things are possible for me. I see other people doing it. It's not rocket science. If they can do it, I sure as hell can do it. And
That's
I
right.
just, in that, it was kind of like this lightning bolt moment of clarity. I was like, no, I'm doing this. I'm starting my own business. And it was just this like out of body experience of, I mean, I woke up the next day so fired up. I pulled out
Yeah.
a piece of paper, and all of my students know this because I teach them this lesson, but I took out a piece of paper the next day and I wrote my dream week, and
Mm.
I wrote Monday through Sunday,
Okay.
and I put my little time sections, and I drew a calendar of what my dream week would look like as a business owner.
Okay.
How many clients I had, when I did my morning routine, what time did I go to the gym every day? How long were my lunch breaks? Did I have happy hours? Which days did I go to happy hours with my friends? What did I do on the weekends? I literally drew it out and I taped it above my desk and I looked at it every day. And I was like, I'm starting my business. It's happening. And I never looked back. But I think getting laid off was that catalyst for me. Like, I would have waited until I found the best next thing or felt ready to leave a secure job. I'm so glad I got laid off. Even though my ego was hurt, even though I was so embarrassed, I was like, wow, what? I'm very good at my job. Like, how did this happen? I'm so glad that happened. It really, the universe just pulled the rug out from under me, and that's exactly what I needed, because I would have never taken the leap. I was like, I'm already here. They already pulled the rug out. I might as well just keep going with this level of uncomfort, this
Right.
uncomfortable energy that I'm feeling. And I just used it to my advantage. I was like, all right, we're going to stay uncomfortable. We're going to do this.
And take some messy action, right?
Yes, literally. Yeah.
Wow. I love that because, and it's not on the podcast, but it's on my YouTube channel. Um, last year I made a video about vision boards. Okay.
Mhm.
And I got a question in my Facebook group saying, Tariq, do vision boards actually work? Right. And I thought that was the most interesting question. And ultimately, I came back to that word action,
Mhm.
right? It only works with like the amount of action that you put in it. And so my example in that episode was, does your car work?
Mhm.
Because I would argue that it doesn't unless you turn the key and hit the gas, right? Unless you make the action to do that, your
Mhm.
car's not going anywhere,
Yeah.
right?
It's sitting there. Yeah.
It's just going to sit there. It's just going to sit there. And so we got to take the action to be able to get there. And so I bring up that little story for a moment because I am I like the idea of a vision board. I like how it will hold you accountable. But I like what you did. You
Yeah.
said, I'm not making a vision board. I'm making a vision calendar.
I'm a calendar girly. So yeah. And you
That
know
is,
what? You know what, Tariq? That
yeah.
dream week I wrote on the piece of paper was my reality within 2 months of making that decision to go for
Mm.
it.
And because you took the action.
Because I said, I'm doing this. And
Yeah.
I made it happen. I
Yeah.
figured, I was like, nope, we're hustling.
Mhm.
We're doing this. I'm like, I don't know. I'm a very I'm competitive by nature.
Same.
So I also, it was kind of, I was hungry for it for
Mhm.
myself. I get
Right.
very, very in the zone when I want something. So it was exciting to me. I was like, wow, this is finally something I can get really lit up
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's scary, but it's exciting. We're so used to just staying comfortable, which it's not a bad thing, right? That keeps us safe. That keeps things, good and comfortable. But some not everyone should be an entrepreneur. That's not what I'm saying. I think some
Mhm.
people should not. Some people should stick to the 9 to 5. But I knew I could do this. So
Right.
I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone. And thank God, I have very supportive parents who are like, okay, like what's best for you, daughter. And I'm like, yep, I'm on like, and I've just always, I'm like, no, you can't tell me what to do. Like, I'm gonna make this happen. And here we
But
are.
here we are. Here we are. But I gotta say, I'm listening to you right now, and I'm pumped. I'm hyped. I'm about, after this interview, I'm about to go run a couple miles. All right. I am ready to go. I'm
Oh,
ready to go.
good.
I'm motivated, I am ready. And gosh, and there are people that are gonna think, oh, he's motivated. So motivated. People say that there's a little bit of a debate between motivation and discipline. And I don't have a problem with either, because depending on the person that you are, you're going to need to be disciplined sometimes, and you're going to need to feel motivated sometimes, right?
I
Um,
feel they feel energetically different to me.
and so they do. They're definitely different, a
Yeah.
100%, right? But the thing about motivation is that it can feel a little bit temporary sometimes. But you know, if you were to go brush your teeth, right? If you go brush your teeth, that's a temporary clean. We recommend you do that at least a few times a day, right? So, I recommend feeling motivated, finding different ways to
Yeah.
motivate yourself like a
Well,
few
it's like,
different times.
yeah, I mean, and I think the analogy that pops into my head is like, I'm motivated to be healthy and fit. So I'm going to buy the supplements. I'm going to get the protein powders. I'm going to get my cute workout set, right? I'm
Yeah,
feeling right now energetically excited about getting fit and healthy, but it's the discipline that has me going to the gym 4 times a week, that has me
100%.
going on a walk, even when I don't want to, getting up early to go to a workout class, even if I want to hit snooze, right? Like
Right.
that's kind of how I feel.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And so, as we continue to have this conversation, Alex, um I can't help but to just love and feel the vibe of your authenticity. I'm here
Thank
for
you.
it. I'm loving it. Like I said, it's fantastic. And
Thank
now,
you.
and so when it comes to showing up as your authentic self on social media and everything like that, um, how do you feel like you do that?
Uh, I will say, I think having a degree in acting has certainly helped. Fun fact, I went to school for acting. So I think on camera presence maybe comes a little bit easier to me in that regard. But at the end of the day, I think it just comes back to showing up consistently and practicing that. It is a practice, especially as a business owner. No one's going to know about my business if I don't tell people about it. And
Yeah.
that is something my students a lot of the time kind of get hung up on. They're like, "Oh, wait, I have to show up now and I have to promote myself," right? Um but I think showing up authentically, it takes time, and it takes honesty with yourself. Like, is this
Mm,
me, or am I like putting on something? Yeah, I don't know. I still play with it, you know? I still have moments I'm like, yeah, that's not my energy right now. So I'm going to show up as how I am feeling right now,
Yeah.
what I'm navigating, how I'm navigating it in case someone else needs to hear this too.
So showing up in that fashion, okay. I think I want to dive more deeper
Yeah.
into that feeling where you're just like, my energy is low, but this is how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
Why do you feel okay to be able to do that?
I don't always. Sometimes
Mhm,
I go radio silent if I'm just not in the mood to be online, right?
mhm,
Um to be sharing from whatever place I'm in. But I think as someone with a very close community and an audience of women who are on the same journey as me, that's always something I want to be kind of pulling the curtain back on and being like, hey, let's keep it real. We're not always going at full speed. We're not always sunshine and rainbows, booking clients left and right. Like, yeah, I'm just, this last couple weeks have been really challenging. You know, here's what's going
mhm.
on. We got some stuff going on behind the scenes. I'm stressed. And that's just a season that I'm in right now, you know, and it's always in, and I connect like that with other people and their content, you know, when they really just say like, I'm not gonna lie, this is what I'm, you know, feeling right now.
Mhm,
And if
mhm.
anyone else is feeling that way, I got you. And I'm like, oh yes, like let's just drop the act. Let's just be real with each other. Um, and those are always just the most meaningful connections to me is like, okay, like, wait, yeah, I vibe with this. Like, I see
Yeah.
you.
You know, for some reason, when it comes to social media or whatever the case may be is, we feel like we're not allowed, or some
Mm,
individuals may feel like they're not allowed to feel stressed. Yet,
mm,
I mean, everyone feels some type of stress. Everyone's
yeah.
going through something or multiple things at the same time. But yet, if it's we feel like we're not allowed to do that on social media,
Mm.
right? And I don't necessarily always understand that.
I think societally, and again, we don't need to get into all the crazy terminology, but like, I really do think society, the way we have engaged with social media and have treated it for so long, it
Mhm.
is this highlight reel of wins and success and exciting updates and you know things like that. It is rare to see someone, and not that anyone has to share, right?
Right, right,
We all
100%.
share what we feel called to share when we feel called to share it, but it's those kind of real raw moments of um, yeah, like, this isn't really a win. This is kind of a low point I'm in, but I'm here and this is how I'm navigating it. And I know I'm not alone in this.
Mm, mm.
I fall into that too. Like, I don't always share, ooh, I'm really fucking stressed right now. Or, you know, oh, this did not go the way I thought.
Yeah,
It's a practice, right?
yeah, yeah. You know, no one's life is perfect.
Mm-mm.
No one's life is perfect. And so, I'll say this: the times where I have felt stressed, the times that I have had obstacles, once again, you said it before, they're lessons. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna take the action. I don't know how it's gonna happen all the time,
Mhm.
but it's gonna happen.
But I
That's it.
know I'm going to figure it out.
I trust myself to make it happen,
Yeah.
And so when we're talking about social media, and for the listeners, and we'll get a little bit more into this as the interview progresses, but social media by no means is all that you do, right? There's a lot of work that goes into what you're doing, and I'm looking forward to hearing you kind of go through a little bit more of that as we continue about your programs, etc. But when the concept of social media being fake is presented to you, what are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, I think it really depends on the user. Uh, and also I think the viewer, right? If you
Yeah.
already have preconceived notions about creators or how people use social media, right? Like if you already have those preconceived notions, then yeah, you are going to think it's fake. I'm not going to change your mind.
Mm,
But the way I use it, right, is to educate, to inspire, to connect, and to just share what's possible, what I've done and what could be possible for others who are interested in the same journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that. When I think of what my corner of the internet looks like, is that I'm I'm gonna I don't know what else is going on in your life, but I'm gonna recognize here that it's not perfect, but that we can get through it. You know what I mean? If
Mhm.
you need somewhere positive to go, you know, I'm here, and I want to make sure that people can know what they're gonna get from me, right?
Yeah.
Um, so when I hear, oh, social media is all fake, gosh, I struggle with that because I'm right here. I'm a real person, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm showing up just the way that I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that I think is funny, and I like to relax. I like to have fun. But more importantly, I love to empower individuals to be the person that they want to be, because ultimately, the person who you want to be, you already are. And I
Yes.
think
Yes.
you are like you are the example of that, because once again you say, I'm not having this anymore, I'm taking action, and I'm moving forward. And that's why, gosh, like I said, I see you on social media, and I see the way that you act and everything like that, and you're showing up and you're taking action. But when it comes to showing up consistently
Yeah.
and being the person who you are, and your business and all that, have you ever had any moments where you were like, I don't know if this is for me, or I'm a little bit scared of this today. I don't
Mm.
know how this is gonna go. Have you had moments like that?
I mean, definitely, moments of definitely some stressful moments. Definitely some moments of, well, let's see. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'm gonna see. I'm not gonna just wonder.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, yeah, hearing you mention, the person you want to be is who you already are. And I've always come back to, what the highest version of myself, or the Alex that has that business success that I am working towards. Like, she already has that, but more specifically, what is she doing every day to get there? And what am I doing? What is current Alex doing? Is it the same? Do I need to step up my discipline a bit? Do I need to broaden my vision for myself, my mindset, right? What limiting beliefs does successful future Alex just not even consider anymore? And I always just come back to, in these moments of doubt or stress or overwhelm in my business, I just think, how is future Alex getting through this?
Yeah.
And I remind myself of, like, why I started this in the beginning. Why did I start this at all? And my why. So I always just come back to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You got me thinking here a little bit. Like I think about some of the days where I might have been a little bit too tired, or and real quick, I preface these comments by saying you're allowed to be tired, to
Rest
everyone
is
listening.
important. Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like I know exactly what you're prefacing for. So yeah. We're not saying hustle till you pass out. That's not, yeah.
Right, right. You're allowed to be tired. You're gonna feel stressed. There gonna be moments where you may feel a bit disappointed, et cetera, right? But when you talk about like your future self, um, another way to look at that is like when I think about the brand that I'm building and my business as a mindset and problem solving coach, I think about like, you know, would would 5 years from now Tariq be disappointed in what I'm doing right now? You know?
Yeah.
It's and if so, why is that? Because once again, I'm already that person. I'm competing with me every day.
Yeah.
And so if future me would be disappointed in whatever it is I'm doing right now, then present me needs to get it together.
Yeah. And I think, I like how you did preface this, but I do think we all need to just give ourselves more grace. Like, it is not healthy to always be in, go, go, go. I got to do this. I got to get that. Like, I got to hustle for that. Like, no, like that is not life. Like you need to rest. You need to take care of yourself. For me, sometimes that's chilling out and logging off work early because I got my work done and I don't need technically to keep working. So I'm just going to go watch TV because I need to shut my brain off. Or I'm going to go on a long walk and only listen to this playlist that makes me feel good. Or maybe I just need to have a good cry in the shower and look at some funny TikToks to reset, like, yeah, I think some people take it like very extreme, and like, that's certainly not where I'm at, but that has worked well for me.
I'm a big believer, and when once again I bring guests on, and I want to shine them in the greatest light possible because all my guests have been so amazing. And Alex, I've been loving this so far. You're amazing. And so to quote the as I prepared for my interview here, to quote the great Alex Porterfield.
Oh no, what'd she say?
Life will always be lifing.
It will. Wow, I am just a poet, y'all. Life will always be lifing. Ain't that the truth?
Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth?
Oh my God, you got me there.
Gosh. So, all right. Your business, your programs, the authenticity you put into them, the value that you put into them. Tell us about your programs and everything that you're doing right now.
Yeah. So my signature program, Influencer Support Method, is my pride and joy. It is my baby. It is a 12-week group training program that is for the woman who is ready and excited to start her virtual assistant business and support influencers and content creators. So it is a self-paced course with a group membership component, group coaching calls, an amazing community, my business strategy every day. And it works. And I think it's been so cool to see the successes that my students have been creating and the goals they're hitting through this program. And it's my favorite. I love being a coach. It's my absolute favorite thing. And then my newest program that just launched is Influencer OBM Academy, which is that next step in the online world. Going from a virtual assistant to an online business manager is typically kind of the pipeline that online service providers follow. And I have a co-creator, my colleague, Sam Wisnant. We created this program because we niched down to support influencers, but all the training programs we took were leaving out some key things that we had to figure out on our own. So we created our own program to bridge those gaps. And we have some amazing women in that program who are ready to just level up and scale and support these multi-6 and 7-figure influencers.
Love it. Love it. So when people want to learn more about you and all the great things that you're doing, those programs seem amazing. And so if they want to start connecting with you, well, the links will be in the description. The links will be all over the place here for you to click on.
Yes.
But where should people go?
Yes. So I would love to connect with you all on Instagram at alexporterfield.biz. And if you want to learn from me, I would love for you to take a look at my free guide, 20 plus ways to support influencers today as a virtual assistant. If you're interested in just learning more about what that world could look like and the types of services you could offer. I also have a free masterclass. It's a 45-minute training if you're even more excited to get started and ready to take some action. So you can head to influencersupportmethod.com and save your seat in that class.
Love it. Love it. When's the next one?
Those are ongoing. I always have them. So it is on demand and ready to go whenever you are.
Oh, let's get it. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, you mentioned, and so it's alexporterfield.biz, correct?
Yes.
I have to say this. So when I was like checking out your content and everything like that, gosh, no one likes you, hackers. All right. No one likes you all. Okay. So make sure when everyone's listening and you're looking for Alex on Instagram, what is it again, Alex?
AlexPorterfield.biz,
Let's
B-I-Z.
let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So, you know, this has been a great conversation. I think there's been so much value here. And ultimately, when it comes to your programs, I could tell that value is definitely, at obviously you wanted to live the life that you wanted to live. You created that vision calendar and you put yourself in positions to be the person that you wanted to be because as we talked here today, everyone, we were already that person. Um, but when it comes through all that and you've gotten to where you are now, you've reflected, we've set the tone. What would be two words that would explain where your life or where your business is going?
Two words. Up and out. I'm going up and out. I am expanding. I am creating more impact. I'm just so excited to like continue growing.
Yeah. Yeah. Up and out. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. I like how you put it together too. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Those
Up
are,
and
yeah,
out.
two words, two tiny words, but they feel big
Yeah.
to me.
Up and out for sure. I mean, gosh, you say up and out. I'm thinking private jet.
That PJ life. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Because when I think about why I created my business and everything like that, ultimately, I didn't say up and out anything. I didn't say anything cool like that. You're way cooler than I'll ever be, Alex. But what I would always say to people is that I'm extending my reach.
Mm.
I'm extending my reach because there are not one, but there's several people out there that need to hear what I'm saying, and I want to be there for them. Um, Ultimately, living a life for sure that I want to live and be a part of, and enjoy that life, find the things that bring me joy, but because I also know that it'll bring others joy as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, for sure. Gosh, Alex, this has been fantastic.
This was amazing. Thank you so much for having me on, Tariq. I really appreciate it.
It was the pleasure was all mine. But before you go, we've defined all the words and everything like that. But any other last final thoughts or anything like that for the people here today?
I am just so excited for everyone listening to give themselves permission to just go for it. Whatever that thing is, that goal, that vision for yourself, that version of yourself you are going to be, just go for it. Stop thinking about it. Just do it.
Nike.
There we go.
That is what the Speak Your Vision podcast is all about.
Yep.
And thank you so much for being here, Alex. And I'm going to leave everyone with my favorite quote is that potential is only unachieved greatness. So go out there and be great. Thank you for listening, everyone.
When adversity came, I could have fell apart, but I chose instead to follow my heart. When adversity comes, I will never run. I will adjust, adapt, and overcome. Vision.